Hello guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we are training legs. We're down at Ultraflex, which is probably one of the best gyms I've ever been at, and we're going to do a full high intensity leg workout. I'm going to take you along with me. There's lots of drop sets, supersets, lifting heavy. Let's do it. Alright, so we're just starting off with a little warm up, just doing some dynamic movements. I'm actually stretching out the psoas here because that's actually the main cause of lower back pain. So if you stretch that out, it allows a bit more mobility in your lower back. We're doing a lot more dynamic movements, so high legs, open up your hips. Just trying to move. You know, maybe doing a jump, which Domi was doing. She's nice and warm now, aren't you? Yeah? So we're going to do this for about 5-10 minutes, and then head to some squats. Alright guys, so big squat session coming in. So I started with 180 and I actually stayed there throughout the 3 working sets. Before this we did 2 warm-up sets and a few dynamic movements as you saw before. This was actually quite hard for me. I was feeling really fatigued from the week. I actually haven't had a rest day in about 2 weeks. So having one today, but this did take a toll on me, but I still got 3 sets of 8, which I was very happy with. And yeah, kept that form nice and tight. I always like to wear flat shoes when I'm squatting or barefoot. So you'll see me wear like Converse or just no shoes, which you'll see Domi doing after me. And then I supersetted it with sissy squats. This is a great isolation movement for your quads. I love doing it, and not enough gyms have them. If you want to take the movement out of your glutes and hamstrings, which I want to do quite often, doing like a pressing movement with these is a great addition. Again, I did 10 reps on here, 3 sets. So moving on, Domi did the same thing. She did 2 warm-up sets and 3 working sets of 8. She was doing it barefoot, as we like to really feel the ground, and I feel like you get a much better activation from your legs when your feet are flat. I mean, you can raise your heels, and that's what lifting shoes do, but I do think squatting barefoot or flat feet is better than like an Olympic weighting shoe, just from my personal preference and experience. So she hit a solid set of 8 here, and she also supersetted as well. Actually made that look very easy. And she supersetted with some plyometric bench jumps. This is great to do after like some compound lift, as it works on your explosive power. And again, 3 sets of this, 10 reps on each leg. Okay, so we are 2 sets in. She's finishing on her jumps. It's the last set, so we're doing 2 working sets. 2 warm-up sets, 3 working sets. And this is my last set on 4 plates. I'm going to do a double drop set, triple drop set, down to 1 plate until failure. So it's going to be a big one. So this was the last drop set. Went all the way down the plates, down to 60, and finished on this one for 15 reps. And I can just tell you now, it was an absolute killer. This is how I like to end all of my squatting sessions. It's a great way to increase your expenditure and basically kick your butt. Give it a go next time you do some squats. Oh my god. 180, 140, 160. That'll kill you. Oh my god. Your turn. So, on the squats, this is a heavy compound, mainly on the quads. That's how I like to do the squats. We're going to posterior chain on the hamstring curls, isolating, holding that contraction before we go on to a more quad dominant exercise again. It's good to split them up, and it's how I like to train. So, as I said before in the last clip, moving on to a posterior chain isolation. This was a really nice laying hamstring curl. This is probably my favorite exercise for hamstrings. Just like all the other ones tend to have a slight issue with my lower back, especially RDLs, so Romanian deadlifts, so I tend to do them quite lightly now, as you'll see at the end of this workout. Again, I was going for 12 reps here, trying to really focus on that contraction when you reach the top, and then Domi did the same. What you want to do when you're doing the hamstring curl, you want to make sure that your bum is not moving. You want to make sure your hips are buried into the pad. This allows for the most extension in your hamstrings and for the greatest contraction, because when the bum is moving all over the place, you're actually using other muscles, you're shortening the movement. This will allow for the greatest amount of contraction. And then we did a double drop set on the last set of each set.
So pendulum squat, one of the hardest machines. We're going for 10 reps and we're going to superset it with jumping lunges and jumping squats, which we like.
So going into the next exercise, this was a superset. So the pendulum squat, absolutely amazing. And if you want to recreate this workout, do it yourself, and you haven't got a pendulum squat, just use a Smith machine and do like a variation of hack squats on there. But if you ever tried a pendulum squat, you know how hard they are and how great they are on the quads. It's probably one of my favorite exercises. I actually put a bit more weight on for the next few sets, and like it was only a 15 plate and I was dying. But this was a really good movement. And what I did is I supersetted it here with squat jumps into squat lunges. Again, doing the same principle as before, supersetting it with a plyometric movement. This actually created such a crazy pump. Like I could barely stand up. You can see me there. Like I'm like in pain with how much blood is in my legs right now. But again, I did 3 sets here, 10 reps on everything.
So from this point, me and Domi changed our workout slightly, as hers was more glute focused and mine was more quad focused, as my glutes are slightly overdeveloped and I don't want to directly train them anymore.
Right, so this is where things started to get a bit crazy, you may say. So we decided to do a triset. So we started with leg extension here, really focusing on the peak contraction and a slow negative. We were going for 12 reps here. It's a really good leg extension. It's a plate loaded one. You could actually change where the tension was. This gym has some crazy machines. And then what we did is we supersetted this into wide and low leg press for 15 reps. Really trying to rep it out, focusing on form here because we did all the heavy stuff before. And after we completed 15 reps, moved on to walking lunges, 20 reps. We just walked until we hit those 20 reps back and forth. The lactic acid buildup here was huge, and the burn was real. And we did 3 sets on here.
So if you're not absolutely dying while you're doing legs, you're doing it wrong. This tricep here is killing us. We got 1 more set, and then we're going to finish off with I think 1 more compound and 1 more isolation for the hamstring. That's it. Calves, we'll do another day.
All right, guys, so going into the last 2 movements now. So we did upside down leg press. Now, very interesting movement, but it was actually really good. We've got a really good activation in the quads and actually could go pretty deep within the movement, so got a nice stretch. Again, wasn't too heavy, but if you don't have this machine in your gym, I'd recommend either doing goblet squats or you can do upside down Smith machine leg press, but I would not recommend it as it can be quite dangerous, but up to you. And then last but not least, we did stiff leg deadlifts 1.5. So you come all the way down, you do half a rep, and then you go back down and do a full rep. It was really good. I go fairly light on these as I don't want to aggravate my lower back, and you just really focus on the stretch. And as you can see, I have my toes raised from the little platform there. This actually lengthens your hamstrings, allowing for a greater stretch and more activation. I'd always recommend that if you're doing stiff leg deadlifts, and never raise your heels. So if you wear Olympic weightlifting shoes, you're actually shortening the movement and you're not getting the most out of it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the commentary and the workout. I'll see you in the next clip.
Right, so that is the leg session done. I'm calling this a high chaos leg session because we're in a new gym, there's lots of machines and we kind of wanted to try them all, so we did lots of supersets, as you saw, lots of drop sets, and we just messed around on quite a lot of the equipment. A lot of pressing movements. I wouldn't recommend this, Domi's flexing, but can you see it in the mirror?
Yeah.
Domi's, yeah, like we wouldn't normally do that much. It'd be a bit more like structured. It'd be a bit more structured, but today we just went in and we just wanted to get a sweat on. It was pretty good, and I did the major crime. I trained legs in trackies, but when you're in England and it's like 2 degrees outside, I think it's okay. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like these kind of training series, let me know and I'll be sure to do more. But we gotta go home now. I'm hungry. I'll see you in the next one.
Hello. Hello.